On Wednesday night, Baltimore youth activists staged a sit-in at City Hall. What began as a demonstration against the appointment of Kevin Davis to police commissioner turned into an emotionally charged event where activists confronted police through civil disobedience.
We must love and support one another.
We must love and support one another.
We have nothing to lose but our change.
This protest was organized by the students of Baltimore City, who produced a comprehensive agenda for justice in this town.
In a list of demands, occupiers said that abuse and incompetence at the police department had only grown since the ouster of former police commissioner Anthony Batts. At 3:15 in the morning, Grand Prix was among a group of about 10 people that emerged from City Hall to talk to the media about the occupation.
We have listed 3 demands. They have been on social media. The first is for the police commissioner. These are demands produced by the youth to rescind his policy on the aggressive treatment of protesters. There is the feeling of many protesters in the community as expressed by the actions of the commissioner that was a sea change in policy from the changeover from Batts to Davis in terms of how protesters were treated. Much more aggressive, much more heavy-handed. They want that policy rescinded. Secondly, they're calling for Mayor Rawlings-Blake to fire Housing Commissioner Graziano for his continued incompetence and his inability to respond to accusations of sexual harassment in the Gilmore homes. Thirdly, they're calling for $20 million in genuinely, and I repeat, genuinely community-controlled schools. So again, the youth of Baltimore produced a comprehensive social justice agenda that I think we all need to listen to.
Half an hour later, police warned the remaining protesters that they would be arrested. A group of about 15 protesters continued the sit-in and demanded at least a brief meeting with Commissioner Davis and the mayor, which they were denied. They'd been denied food and proper access to restrooms in an effort to wrap up the action.
All the police commissioner had to do was take 10 minutes of his time, catch an elevator to the 6th floor, and talk to us. He didn't want to do it, and that's the reason why we did what we did. They don't give a damn about us. This man is going to get a $200,000 salary, and you mean to tell me you couldn't take 10 minutes to go from the 4th floor to the 6th floor? It's a show. It's a circus. They come down here for these meetings, and they have these public hearings, and these public meetings, these public safety meetings, but it's a joke because they don't really care. Every city council person should have been here. Brandon Scott wasn't here. Militant wasn't here.
Do you think people are getting arrested now?
Oh yeah, they're getting arrested. So they may be bringing them out of here, but the paddy wagons are over here. But I'm thinking they're gonna bring them out of here because there's no entrances. The court, I don't think they took them out of here. That light would have been on.
Yeah, I guess we'll see as soon as we get around this corner. The police seemed sneaky. They mobilized police officers at one entrance and would then move to another, only to move back to the first. We thought as a way of confusing supporters and the press. It became clear that they wanted the occupiers to leave City Hall as quickly and quietly as possible before government employees especially started showing up for work later that morning.
No, be quiet. I just want to know why some of your officers are out here without badges on, sir. Sir.
These are 14 to 17-year-old, mostly high school students. They brought them out in flex cuffs, and now they are locked in these cars to be taken to jail to be processed.
It is our duty to fight for our freedom!
It is our duty to fight for our freedom!
It is our duty to win!
When this city and this police department seeks to address issues like this, they don't go to us. They don't go to the people who are in the streets. They don't go to the people who have a comprehensive understanding of social justice. They go to the so-called community representatives who have a frame of social justice that's amenable to what these cops want to do. They go to the people who blame black people for their pathology. They go to the black people who blame their children for simply wanting to stand up for their rights. So I think what they want to do is simply lock these kids up and then have dog and pony show meetings with community representatives who don't actually represent the community, who don't understand the comprehensive social justice agenda these young people are presenting, so they continue to have business as usual platitudes, basic piecemeal reforms, as opposed to the comprehensive change these young people are asking for.
It's laughable that this many officers are here for a peaceful protest at City Hall, which is our right.
Which is a public building.
Have you ever asked yourself why we are here? Have you ever asked yourself what our message really is? Have you ever asked yourself what it is we're trying to accomplish? Have you ever asked yourself why we are against the police commissioner who you all are trying to confirm and follow? Have you ever asked yourself that?
My father was a cop in this town for 25 years. I come from a police law enforcement family. I grew up thinking that cops are part of the family and every death of a cop was a death in the family. I think that there's such a gap between the lie that we have this benevolent, intelligent police force executing magnificent police work for the good of the people. Some cops try to reach that standard. I know my father did. That's not the cops I see here before me. That's definitely not the cops that we see in Gilmore homes, harassing people, assaulting people, killing people. And the space between the lie that we as a society are told about what cops are and the reality of this monstrosity of 200 cops here to arrest 15 high school students at a student-led peaceful protest who simply wanted to have dialogue over their social justice agenda. Facing that reality that so many Americans are now forced to face is infuriating. James Baldwin once said to be a black person in America was a bit of consciousness is to live in constant rage. What you're seeing here is the constant rage of being black in Baltimore. And what we have is decay, destruction, and death. And we are told that within the face of all of that, we should be quiet because police are our saviors. I come from a police family. Multiple people in my family, 20, 30, 40 years, military and police. The hypocrisy and the lie, the frustration is what you're seeing here today.
As of Thursday afternoon, the 3 minors arrested have been let go. 13 adults remain in jail and, according to Real News sources, have received $3,000 bail bonds each. For The Real News, Thomas Hedges, Cameron Granadino, and Nadia Kanji reporting from Baltimore.